Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello. Okay, I'm setting up. How do we do? Are we? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you're doing. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. I see you connected. Hi, who are joining us? How are you guys? Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Lila, Mohammed, for joining. Hi, Tlash. Okay, so uh-huh.
Hello.
I'm trying too hard. Fabulous. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Seema Kumari is here, and thank you so much for joining us on today's live edition of Student Voice, where we amplify voices and stories and inspirational students all over the world who are creating change in their environment, who are leading a new generation of innovators, of great thinkers, of amazing people making the world a better place. And I have with me one amazing woman here. I mean, you're looking at her, she's amazing. Hi, Seema, how are
Hello.
you? This is Seema Kumari. She's a fresher at Harvard, but please, Seema, introduce yourself and the amazing conversation we're going to be having today.
I'm doing good. I'm in campus right now. It's very cold, but I have to survive here. How are you? How have you been? It's been such a long time since we have spoken.
It's so crazy because it is very hot here. Oof, we are in the dry season. I'm always fascinated by weather, how one part of the world is this and another part of the world is the end.
Mm-hmm.
The total difference. It's fascinating. I mean, nature, let's leave nature. So today we are having an amazing conversation on volunteering and study opportunities abroad. And as a social entrepreneur myself and also a student, I know the importance of volunteering, to create more opportunities for exploration, for gaining both hard and soft skills, for gaining experience for your CV, for your resume. You need to show that you have done something, that you've gone outside of the four walls of classroom, that you've led something, that you've shown your mettle on a large scale. And then that's why I'm really excited because Seema is here. Seema is a top 10 finalist of the Golden Prize. She's amazing, and you guys are going to see how amazing she is. And she is also a fresher at Harvard University, like Harvard
Thank you.
University. So, Seema, please introduce us. Just tell us about what you do. I know what you do, I know, but I
Yeah.
want you to just tell the audience what you do.
Uh-huh. So I have grown up in Jharkhand, India. I've grown up in a village, and I was going in the same route as other girls. Like I was doing most of the house chores, and I felt like my life would be very similar to other girls who were older than me, and I felt like I would be married very young as well. But then, in 2012 I heard about this NGO called You Are India, and then it is to empower girls in the villages, and I joined the NGO and I started meeting people from different countries, and I really liked that. And it was the first time me touching a football, or like talking to people who were from different places. I didn't know English, but whatever, a few sentences or a few words I knew, that's how I communicated. Then I really liked, so I just started going to the practices. I did not miss any practices. And then they started leading workshops where they taught us about like education, poverty, child marriage, and how we should like see our community and move towards a brighter future. And that's where like I really enjoyed it, like, and I just kept going. And then in 2015 I started leading my own workshops to my own team, and then started coaching football. And I just liked interacting with other girls from different villages, and I think that's how I learned to be a better leader and to communicate better and manage a team. And that's how it has been since 2015 till 2021.
Wow, that's 7 years. 2015 to 2021. I love you. There are three key points that I picked from what you said. You said number one, be out to be a better leader. Number two, how to lead and manage a team, and how to be a better person. And I believe these 3 points are one of the numerous benefits that volunteering has to offer. And I also love the fact that football, football of all, it's so outside there, like you don't think football. And sports is a social connector. Sporting activities is one of the things that brings the world together. We have the Olympics, we have the FIFA. Right now in Africa, we have the African Cup of Nations going on, and it's amazing. You have people all over the continent in Cameroon watching this continental-wide, friendly competition just for a cup, and it's really beautiful. Like football brings us together, the same way art does. And I love the fact that when we say football, generally people think of the boys, you think of the male, but you are a girl and you are using something that is not traditionally deemed feminine for social impact. And I think that is amazing. So just tell us about how you chose football
I'm
as an avenue for social impact. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only sport that was available to girls at that time. And even like a lot of villagers, like they were against it because they haven't seen girls wearing shorts or like smaller clothes. And many girls had to stop going because their families did not agree with them wearing short clothes. But I would say my parents have been very supportive of me, of like what I wanted to do. And there were some rules and regulations that my mother wanted me to follow, and I felt like I would follow them if she would let me do the things that I want to do, and she did. And then I have encouraged my cousins, because I live in a joint family, so I have like 8 9 cousins. I don't even remember how many. So like all of us, it's like 18 or 19 people, and it's a big family. And I wanted, like, as I knew that, okay, now I'm going to have a brighter future, I wanted them to have as well. So they joined the football program as well. And then 5 of them are at your school as well, except the one who is 6 right now. But it's been good.
I really love that because sincerely, it's so easy when you're doing something, you're impacting people out there, but most importantly, it reflects from home. We have a saying here, we say charity begins at home. So if you're doing something to improve the lives of people out there, it reflects on your immediate environment. I have friends who went out to search for volunteering opportunities just because I did it, and they saw the need to also follow suit. It's more like you're setting a good precedent, you're giving opportunities to do something really wonderful, and they are seeing you, they're like, oh, Seema is doing this really, really wonderful. And if she's doing as amazing as she does at this, then I have a chance at doing same and even better. And I think this is one of the important parts of volunteering that people don't really talk about. Everybody is looking for that opportunity where they have $1 million, to sponsor people to university. But sincerely, it's not about while the $1 million part is good if you can afford it. But I believe it's even the smallest things that matters. It could be just one person, it could be two people, it could be a mindset reorientation that occurs just because of something you're doing in your community, and people start thinking differently, positively. It could be that could be the change per se, but because it's not quantitated as in massive, like, having massive money to sponsor people, it may not get the same amount of publicity, but it doesn't mean it's not as important as doing the march. And that is really, really one thing you're doing. Why I love your story is because I resonate with it. You are changing out there while you're also changing in here,
Yeah,
which
and
is
even
very,
like,
very
UA has
important.
been there for like more than a decade now. Like there have been many people
Oh,
who have like started to support UA and send their girls to the football program and the coaching programs as well. But then there are many people in the village
yeah,
who still do not agree with girls playing football or girls wearing short clothes or girls um doing a career, doing a job and like being independent. And I think this mindset, like it will take a lot of time to change, also because they haven't seen that like in their whole life. And suddenly, some girls now they're going abroad or they're playing football or they're going to school. Like this is a new thing for them, and it will take time. Like maybe it will take 20 years, maybe it will take 30 years, but
yeah,
I think it will change. Like as the same people who did not see that before, like my own parents, but they changed, my aunts changed, my uncles changed. So I believe that it's just like it will take a lot of time for it. And like we need more people, like even at you are the like the staff and everything. Like it's small right now, and like people have to join, like more people have to support, and fundraising has to be more. And I think like Franz, who's the founder, and like Rose, who's the principal, they're working very hard to help all the girls out there.
that's just inspiring and amazing. And I love the passion that you're putting into changing a narrative. Because sincerely, this problem is not only particular to India. I am in Nigeria and we have similar storyline. We have places where girls, they are not allowed to do some particular type of sports because they believe it will endanger their ability to give birth.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a 14-year-old girl, and you're thinking giving birth. We have areas where girls are not allowed to wear shorts. They're not allowed to, do things that will improve their chances at life, and it consequently affects their opportunities in the future. But people like you, people like me, people like other young change makers all over the world, we're setting a new storyline, we're setting a new precedent, setting a new narrative, and we are inspiring people, calling people to buy into the dream, into the idea. And then I think that is just inspiring. But let's talk about the important question that people are waiting for, obviously. Okay, so how did Harvard
Oh.
happen? Because I was, yeah, I mean, because the truth is, Harvard is an opportunity, learning in such that kind of a world-class environment. It's a dream that millions do not have. And looking at your story, you went all the way from India to an Ivy League university in the United States, and you have attributed volunteering to how it happened. So could you just take us through, and everybody that's watching, take us through that journey to see, if other people are trying to achieve their own personal goals, to see how they can go about it. You get.
Yeah, so I was an exchange student in Washington State in 2019 for my 11th grade, through Kennedy Lugar Youth Exchange and Study. And during the later part of the program, the pandemic happened in March. So I was not doing much. I was mostly watching a lot of Indian movies, I would say. But that's when like I started researching more about colleges. And um the main one I focused on was Washington University in St. Louis, because I did their summer program in 2018, and I felt like, okay, I may have a good chance on getting on over there. So I started writing their supplement questions and the statement of purpose. But then I applied, and then when I came back home in June, I think it was like late June or early July when I got to know that, okay, so there are a lot of colleges who are going test optional, because I didn't take the standardized testing or the English proficiency test. And then I looked at the requirement if I could qualify for the waiver. And because I studied at US school since seventh grade, so it was like 4 years or 5 years, and then the requirement was mostly like 3 years if you have been if you have been in a school where it was taught in English, like they would waive it. So then I was like, okay, like I should try it. So then I just like started writing the supplement questions. I talked to my teachers and people I was connected with, like, because most of our teachers at your school, they change pretty much every year. So I kind of like had a lot of support, I would say, from my teachers, and then they helped me make my essays better. And I think I just thought that I would try, and then the admission officer, like from the international department, she reached out to my principal Rose in January, and then she talked about Yuva and about my journey, and then she offered me an interview in February. And the interview, I would say, like, it was really good. It was supposed to last for like 30 minutes, but it lasted for like more than an hour, and I really liked it. She was very friendly, and I felt like I had a better chance, but I, at the same time, you never know, like, whatever would happen. So then, yeah, I think like after they asked me for more recommendations, just because I did not take the ACT or ACT. So they asked for more recommendations from my math teacher, from my English teacher, from Peninsula High School, the school that I attended during my exchange year, and then my host family. Yeah, they asked for like three more recommendations. So it was like 7 or 8 recommendations for me. But like other than that, I just checked my student portal in like early April, and I saw the wait, what would I even say? I forgot. But like the application offer. So
Wow, that oh, that must have felt so amazing because it really is a big deal. It really is a big deal. In fact, the opportunity that provides for you to, pursue personal and professional goals, I think that's just amazing. And I am so proud of you and congratulations as well. And also congratulations on making top 10 of the Global Student Prize, the inaugural version last year.
thank
That
you.
was how we met. And I just know I have you to talk about your journey and everything you do. And I'm so glad, like, I'm grateful that you're sharing this with us. So, as to the recommendation part, because the thing is, if as a young person you are trying to, foray into new places, you're trying to gain opportunities, you have to provide recommendation. And you must show that, okay, all the things that you said you've done, you must be able to prove your track record. So, for anybody who is watching, who is thinking, how can I go about, getting recommendations? Some people are volunteered, some people are working with people, but they don't, with organizations who does social impact, who does, great things in the community, and they don't know how to go about it. So if they, like you said, you submitted like 7 recommendations. I mean, that's mind blowing. So if they want to go about getting recommendations, how do you think they can do it?
Yeah, I think like as long as you know quite a few people very well, and I think just asking them for your recommendation idea, because they would be able to talk more about you than other people who have known you for a very less time.
Can you still hear me? I hope the network is not messing up.
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
Can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah,
network,
yeah, I
come
can
on.
hear you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So my next question is, okay, so it's best to get recommendations from people who have known you over time because they will be in the better position to speak as to your strength, as to your abilities and all that. That is amazing. So my next question is, what skills can you specifically pinpoint as things that you got via volunteering? What kind of skills do you think you got, and how the skills has better improved you as a person?
Mm-hmm. So during the exchange year, I mostly volunteered at a thrift store near the high school. So that sold like old clothes and old materials to other people at like lower prices. And I think I kind of like learned more about sustainability and how people are using stuff that won't be used other way to help the poor people. And through that, the money was raised for students who could not afford to go to college. So I really like the idea or the business model that they were using. And I volunteered at a church, and then I helped with, they have Sunday school at the church, so I helped like kindergartners with their like study plan, like coloring or like teaching them like or reading them short stories. And I think I really liked it because like I had taught small girls back in the village like football and like leading the workshops, but now like teaching girls like from a different country, who speak differently, who behave differently. It was kind of like a good way to learn more about like how to handle small kids and to be patient and to be friendly with them. So I think these were like the most common things or like the things I learned.
Yeah, you are so right because I think eventually you learn to build character as a person. You find a new avenue to yourself, like you see new like limits to your abilities, and you're like, oh, I didn't know I could stretch this much. I didn't know I could multitask this much. I didn't know I could, show forth this ability. Now I'm using it. Most importantly, you build leadership and cognitive thinking, the ability to think on the spot, to provide solutions, to not just complain about a particular issue and all that. And I sincerely believe these are the trappings of a great leader. I mean, if you're seeing someone who is going to be a leader, they have to, be able to think on their feet. They must have empathy. They must, their decisions are made just to protect, people. Their decisions are not to cause harm or danger. And you were talking about sustainability, and we are in these days of climate change. We need to talk about how to protect our climate, how to, our actions, our activities, either purchasing whatever it is we do, must not contribute to the degrading the environment and the planet in all general. So thank you so much, and I'm grateful that you're sharing all these amazing stories about yourself and your journey for the past 7 years. That's a lot of commitment to put into something, and 7 years after, it is showing forth for you. It is showing forth in your career, your academics, and everything. That is just brilliant. So thank you so much, Seema, for
Thank
joining
you
us
so much
today.
for having
And
me.
on a final note, what would you want to say to someone who have goals and dreams and they look so impossible? I mean, I wanted to go to Harvard, but I'm not in Harvard. So we are no young people like us. We have goals, we have massive ambition, and sometimes it looks impossible. Maybe because of environment, maybe financial constraints, maybe lack of opportunities, and they are thinking they will never be this person they aspire to. They will never get to this place they want to be. But looking at you, you made your dream happen. So, what would you like to say to that kind of person who just needs that bolt or jot of
I
inspiration?
think like not giving up, or let's say like if one way doesn't work, try a different way. I think that's what I tried. Like, okay, like this path is not going to work for me, so I'm going to look for a different one that may work. If that one does not work, I'm going to look for a different one. I think like trying is a very important part of our life. And like, when something doesn't work, we are like, oh, like it's not going to work. And that's when we feel like, oh, like we must give up. But like that's the time when you need to remember like one way is not working, but like other would work. And I think just remembering that and keep trying, and I think that's all you need.
Yeah, so don't give up, keep trying. If one way doesn't work, try another. Just keep hammering. One day the door will be open. Thank you so much, Seema. Thank you so much. I know it's very early. It's 9 a.m. your time, I guess. And it's like past 3, almost 4 p.m. here. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you for taking out time. I appreciate it. And have a wonderful, wonderful day. And to the viewers, thank you for joining us on this episode. If you gained anything, maybe there's a key point that you loved, you could put it in the comment section, like, share, and get the word out.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.